Chapter 15. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but a grievous word stirreth up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools pours out foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch upon the evil and the good. A soothing tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a wound to the spirit. A fool despiseth his father's correction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but the revenues of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish is not steadfast. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loves him that followeth after righteousness. There is grievous correction for him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. The netherworld and destruction are before the Lord. How much more then the hearts of the children of men? A scorner loves not to be reproved. He will not go unto the wise. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of heart the spirit is broken. The heart of him that hath discernment seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on folly. All the days of the poor are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast. Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasures and turmoil therewith. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. A wrathful man stirreth up discord, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. The way of the sluggard is as though hedged by thorns, but the path of the upright is even. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly is joy to him that lacks understanding, but a man of discernment walketh straight forwards. For want of counsel purposes are frustrated, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. A man hath joy in the answers of his mouth, and a word in due season. How good is it! The path of life goeth upward for the wise, that he may depart from the netherworld beneath. The Lord will pluck up the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. The thoughts of wickedness are an abomination to the Lord, but words of pleasantness are pure. He that is greedy of gain troubles his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart, and a good report makes the bones fat. The ear that hearkeneth to the reproof of life abides among the wise. He that refuses correction despises his own soul, but he that hearkeneth to reproof gets understanding. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor goeth humility. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. We are continuing in these Proverbs, or with these Proverbs, written by Solomon. Little sayings that we can take with us wherever we go, and to kind of remind us little subtle understanding, little subtle teachings that we get. It's kind of like 2, and we get the other 2 later, and altogether we'll get 4. We're going to pick it up here in verse 1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a grievous word stirs up anger. And a soft answer does turn away wrath when somebody's not happy with us. Maybe somebody is displeased maybe by some of our actions. The best answer is always going to be a soft one instead of a answer from a more of a proud point, because a grievous word does stir up the anger. It's only going to increase or frustrate even further the situation. 2. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools pours out foolishness. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge aright. They're going to use, and that's what works. The tongue's that which is working inside the mouth, and we're going to find out our spirit works inside of us, and if we use a little wisdom, we'll use a little knowledge the Lord gave us, our speech is always going to be to do the right thing, for correctness, to help, just like these Proverbs, in a way that is helping. But the mouth of fools pours out foolishness. There ain't no good advice in their words, their mouth. And we'll find out their actions speak louder than the words. 3, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch upon evil and good. The eyes of the Lord, these eyes, these perceptions, his sight, those things that are before the Lord, they're everywhere. Everything's before the Lord. He sees everything. He's not limited to just like we are, having our own point of view, our own vision, our own sight. He's not limited by such as this. But he is the sight and the vision of all, and he does watch over evil and good. And we can say he kind of keeps it all in check. He watches over it. It's before him. It's in his control even. 4, a soothing tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a wound to the spirit. A soothing tongue, a comforting work or a comforting word that goes forth is like a tree of life. It's something to cause you to life or to live. But the perverseness, this lies and trickery and unsound judgment therein, this is a wound to the spirit. It's only going to cause you to be pierced later, and that's kind of what we get from it. Bad. It's only something we're going to, if we take part of it, we may feel better right then, but it's only later on going to pierce through us. But it's because it's lies and it's trickery. 5, a fool despises his father's correction, but he that regards reproof is prudent. A fool despises his father's correction. And once again, this one he's foolish. He doesn't listen. He's not listening, getting the whole message. He's always thinking about what he's going to do. And when we're thinking, we can't hear. First order of hearing is to just be still and be quiet and try to take in what's going on. But this one who regards reproof, he don't want to listen. He ain't going to listen to the corrections. And it's really pretty simple. He's a fool. But this one who will listen, this one who receives and he regards reproof, and he places value in his father's words. He's prudent. He's he's a good boy. See, he's smart. He's got a little bit of understanding. He's obviously paying attention. 6, in the house of the righteous is much treasure, but the revenues of the wicked is trouble. In the house of righteousness is much treasure. Well, we're going to find out they do what's right. They treasure everything they've got. It doesn't mean you're have a lot of things. Don't have to be wealthy to be righteous, and neither are you righteous make you wealthy. It's a whole different treasure. See, this house where the righteous dwell, this place where they dwell, we'll find out. It's the same as the house of the Lord. They dwell in righteousness, equality, and justice. And these are the treasures they have. These revenues of the wicked, there ain't nothing but trouble. This is what they've got. This is what they get. That's their pay. Everybody gets what you got coming. It's pretty simple. 7, the lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish is not steadfast. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, those ones who have wisdom. They have the ability to use what they know. But this heart of the foolish one, this understanding that the fool's got, his way he is on the inside, he's not steadfast. He's wishy-washy. He's going out, comes back, goes out, comes back, always. Not able to get full control over himself. 8, the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is delight. Sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord. And what we get this is sometimes we can go back in the old days. Somebody might have seen you do something, and it was a sin. It was wrong, and something where you would have to go make a sacrifice for. Well, you went down and made a sacrifice because they seen you. You didn't go because if nobody would have seen you, if you got away with your act, this is the wicked we're talking about. They only made their sacrifice because they had been seen, they'd been caught. There was no other reason. But the prayer of the upright is his delight. These things that the upright, he don't have to make because we'll find out he is trying to be delivered, and the other is not. His intent is not to make restitution for what he's done. 9. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loves him that follows after righteousness. The way of the wicked is abomination to the Lord. He don't want that experience. He didn't want to go that way. That wasn't his choice. He said, don't do that. Choose good. That's the experience I want to have. And he loves him that follows after righteousness. He loves, that's what he wants. These ones that do after that which he has asked them to do. Do this. See, that's what I want to do. I want this done. I need this done. It's really a simple thing. We need to follow after the ordinances. We can call them ordinances, statutes. We can call them laws. A little list of tasks. I like to refer to it as this little list of tasks. We can call it the Torah. His instructions. 10. There's a grievous correction for him that forsaketh the way, and he that hates reproof shall die. There's grievous correction for them that forsakes the way. There's grievous correction. Grievous. It's not good. It's not pleasant. It's something that's going to hurt. And this one that's forsake the way, this way the Lord has give you to go, these things he's asked you to do and implied you to do. If you don't go that way, we're going to find out you're going to fall into the trap. You're going to fall into the area or dispositions where the others that don't do what the Lord's asked them to do are. And he that hates reproof, he shall die. And this one that don't want to be corrected there, death's knocking at your door. 11. The netherworld and destruction are before the Lord. How much more then the hearts of the children of men? The netherworld and destruction are before the Lord. It was created when the law went forth. That netherworld, that's that world beneath, that world below. We don't want to wind up there in that place of transgression, that place where death exists, and destruction are before the Lord. This destruction is just that, destruction. I believe the King James Version said hell and destruction. Hell and destruction are before the Lord. And that's the penalty but there's also blessing of mercy before the Lord as well. This is what we find out. Now, how much more these hearts of the children of men, the hearts, the understandings, these things that they desire, how much more? These ones that are coming forth from men, because we'll find out their desires for goodness, their desires for grace and mercy and happiness. But we'll find out there's just those that don't want to help. 12. A scorner loves not to be reproved. He will not go unto the wise. A scorner loves not to be reproved. We find out this scorner, he's the corrector. He don't want to be corrected. He will not go to the wise. He ain't going to go to the place where he can get correction. He's not going to go to the wise. Those that got a little understanding, learn from example. They know what to do. They have learned the lesson, you might say. They ain't going to listen to that guy. They're not going to listen to him. Why? Sometimes we just got to make our own mistakes. 13. A merry heart makes a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of heart the spirit is broken. A merry heart makes a cheerful countenance. A happy spirit makes this cheerful presence, and that's what it makes, because that's what happens. And it creates that around it, an aura, but this sorrow of heart, this one whose understanding has been diminished, the spirit is broken. we don't see no joy. We don't see that. We see the broken spirit. And this is an easy thing to see. It's not hard. A lot of times we don't look for this in other people because we don't respect others. We don't. We only seem to like a lot care about themselves. They don't have no respect, and to not recognize somebody else and their feelings is to not recognize the Lord. 14, the heart of him that hath discernment seeth knowledge, but the mouth of fools feeds on folly. The heart, the understandings of this one who that has discernment, has the ability to make his own decision. He's the one to seek knowledge. He's looked for knowledge. He has understanding. He don't need somebody to tell him what's right from wrong. Why? He already knows what's right from wrong, and he does that which is right. But from the mouth of fools feedeth on folly. They don't know no difference. All they do is they feed on that which they do. And really, they do after the ways of ignorance. They don't think that they have to keep the laws and statutes of the Lord, and they think they can just keep sinning and perpetuate that in the earth because they don't think they're responsible for this. You're responsible for yourself, yes. The soul that sins, that soul shall die. The soul that turns, that soul shall live. That's the way it always has been. Ain't nobody going to change that. 15. All the days of the poor are evil, but he that is a merry heart hath a continual feast. And all the days of the poor are evil. These understandings of the poor, I don't think that does it justice. This afflicted is what they are. King James Version says they're the ani, and we can look at them as the poor, the afflicted, the humble, these that are wretched. These ones that have been left out, they, we'll find out. Wisdom and knowledge comes in our understanding. And these ones that are afflicted, they're afflicted by this evil. They're afflicted by this sickness, and we're going to find out that sickness is just the lack of understanding. The poverty is not poor because you don't have no money, because you don't have no wealth that other men can see or measure, but the true wealth is that of the Lord, and that's the first step to gaining anything in this world. Take a little responsibility for yourself. Do what the Lord's asked you to do. And this one who does that, and this one who sets himself right, will find out he's going to have a merry heart. He's going to be just before the Lord and justified. He's going to be equal to all people, and we're going to find out he's going to prosper. Never fails. 16. Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and turmoil therewith. And it is better to have just a little and with the fear of the Lord, because that fear is worth everything, my friends. This fear, not to be scared to death. We're doing what's right. Why would we be scared? Why would we be scared of the Lord? This fear, this reverence, we've got some respect for him, what he said, what he asked us to do, and we're trying to get it done. I'd rather have that than all the great treasures and all the trouble that goes with it. And that's what we get sometimes. A lot of times we come into wealth, we come into a lot of money, we come into all the trouble and everything that goes with that. And a lot of times it just ain't worth it when all the money in the world won't buy your soul out of hell. 17. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is. Better is this that's been prepared out of love, out of respect, out of honor, than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. And then a stalled ox, somebody's got the ability and don't do nothing. And it doesn't cause nothing but turmoil in the house. And that's what we would get from this. Some kind of trouble in the house. And this one, he's not getting his dinner. He's lazy. He's lazy. And he doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to keep or do. 18. A wrathful man stirs up discord, but he that is slow to anger appeases strife. A wrathful man stirs up discord. He ain't got nothing but trouble. He gets angry, and we're all guilty of this. We all seem to have that little spark that'll set our fuse off, this wrath that comes suddenly, and You're being tested. The Lord wants you to try to calm that down a little bit. Because this one that stirs that or does that, he's just causing trouble. When somebody's slow to anger, he appeases strife. He appeases that. And what it is he's helping control it. He's helping put an end to it. And he's slowly doing away with it. 19, the way of the slug is as though hedged by thorns, but the path of the upright's even. The way of the sluggard, that's his path, that lazy man. Seems like he's got nothing but trouble. He's hedged in by thorns. That's that prickling. He's got nothing but trouble every day that he wakes up. This is what he can look forward to. But the path of the upright's even. He's looking to make it straight, smooth, even. He's trying to smooth that trouble out. We're going to take a little from today, put it on tomorrow, and try to smooth that out, get that path even and equal. That way we can walk a little better. We can go forth a little better. Prove your position daily, my friends. 20. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish man despises his mother. A wise son, one that will listen, makes a glad father. His father's happy, doesn't have to instruct him. He's a good boy, does what he's asked. But a foolish man despises his mother. He didn't listen to what his mama said. Now his dad's got to get angry. 21. Folly is joy to him that lacketh understanding, but a man of discernment walks straight forwards. Folly is the joy of the one that lacks understanding. Oh, he's happy in what he's doing. Yeah, he's got more than he ever had. Unfortunately, it belongs to somebody else. But a man of discernment, he walks straight forwards, the one that makes the right decision. That's what it is, this decision maker. This guy's got the understanding, knows what he's doing. Everybody likes that guy because he's going straight forward. He ain't messing around. He's moving like he's got a purpose in life. 22. For want of counsel, purposes are frustrated, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. For want of counsel, purposes are frustrated. For the want of counsel, nobody got no understanding. Nobody knows what to do. These purposes, these devices, anything we're talking about, plans, they're frustrated. Why? Nobody knows what to do. This is where the want of counsel comes in. Does anybody know what to do? But in the multitude of counselors, they are established. But in the multitude, if we got a lot of people that know what to do, then we could surely figure out what to do. But nobody's doing it. This is where the want of counsel comes in. And the Lord's always trying to counsel. The Lord's seeking to counsel all the time. In His law and His ordinances, His statutes, that's the counsel He gave you in the beginning. He said, there's your wisdom, there's your understanding, there's your knowledge. If you got a little of that, we can apply it anywhere it needs it. 23, a man hath joy in the answer of his mouth, and a word in due season. How good is it? A man hath joy in the answer of his mouth. He got a little joy. He can have happiness in his reply when it's always for good. See, he's got that word in due season, and he knows, see. That's that 2 we get now, and the 2 we'll get later down the road. It's going to meet you down there. He says, oh, you don't understand what I'm saying. That's all right. You will next week, after this happens to you. How good is it? Then you'll get your understanding. We'll get that rich reward, and the man that says it gets his treasures as well. Because he tried to tell you what was coming, and you wouldn't listen. 24, the path of life goes upward for the wise, that he may depart from the netherworld beneath. The path of life goes upward for the wise. It only leads to greater, and that's that staircase out of that netherworld. That's what it is. This path of life. That's, you went in through your transgression. You must come out through your repentance for it. Conquer it, overcome it, take charge, man. Stand up, walk out of there, out of that netherworld. Out of that place the Lord put you because you transgressed against Him. You ain't got your understanding no more. Maybe it's totally left altogether. But you can't even hear the word of the Lord. 25. The Lord will pluck up the house of the proud, but He will establish the border of the widow. The Lord plucks up the house of the proud. He does away with those ones that exalt themselves. They lift themselves up. But they don't remember the widow. That's why the Lord established the border, the confines. He established even the law that concerns it. 26. The thoughts of wickedness are an abomination to the Lord, but words of pleasantness are pure. The thoughts of wickedness are an abomination to the Lord. He don't want us thinking like that. We got to try to stay in the positive, those positive thoughts. Thinking toward the good. What can we do to help ourselves? What can we do to help others? What can we do to help the world? And it's not really hard. The hardness is that you just turn to what the Lord's asked you to do. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. We'll find out everybody's helping everybody. You're helping yourself. You're helping everybody. And these are the words of pleasantness. They're pure. They're pure because that's the way the Lord intended it to be. He that is greedy of gain troubles his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. This one that's greedy of gain troubles his own house. That's why he's doing it, my friends, to get his gain to himself. Don't let nobody lie to you. He's lied to you enough. That's the only reason he does it. This one that hates gifts, I ain't looking for nothing. Don't need nothing for nothing. He's got everything he needs. Not that he hates these gifts, he just don't need them. These gifts, you can keep them for yourselves. He's the one that shall live. He's done found the way of life. He's got everything he needs. He don't have to bring any gain to himself anymore. 28, the heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil things. The heart of the righteous. He looks for that right answer. He's looking for that correct thing to do. He's always studying it out, trying to find it. But the mouth of the wicked, they just pour out evil things. That's all they'll ever have. They want you to do the wrong thing, make that wrong decision, instruct you in the wrong way to go. The Lord's constantly trying to tell you that's not right. That's not right. Don't do that. But they are constantly in their contentions against the Lord. And that's where they're found. Because they're wicked and they're evil, and the Lord's cast them out. They don't have his understanding. They're not walking with his knowledge and wisdom, trying to make a better place for everybody. 29, the Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. And the Lord is far from the wicked. He has put them far from him. They went out on their own. They did that themselves. They walked away and they left it behind. They don't listen. The Lord hears the prayer of the righteous. He listens to the righteous when they cry out against those that do wickedly. Those that are just, those that don't deserve any punishment at all. When you rob the thief, he deserves it. When you rob the righteous man, he had no part in your games. 30, the light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart. When we see that which is good, we're happy. It's really a simple thing. When we see that which is good, it's happy, especially when we see the Lord and his work, and we see the things being done according to the will of the Lord, this goodness that's in the earth. He gets a good report. It makes the bones fat. There's fatness within us, and our essence of life is better. That's what we want. 31, the ear that hearkeneth to reproof of life abides among the wise. The ear that listens to the reproof of life, these lessons that you're learning, when it hurts, quit. When there's trouble, stop. When you know better, don't do it. There, this one, he's abides among the wise. He's walking with them. He's taking the instruction. He's listening. See, that's those wise that dwells within you. These understanding that the Lord give you this knowledge and that wisdom, my friend. 32, he that refuses correction despises his own soul, but he that hearkeneth to reproof gets understanding. And this one that refuses correction, he despises his own soul. He don't like himself. Why? He won't listen to his own soul that's trying to keep him out of hell. But he that listens to reproof, he gets some understanding. He'll figure it out later. Boy, I'm glad I listened. I'm glad I listened. Sometimes we think that's us. No, that's the Lord. He's trying to speak to you. He speaks to me the same way. He speaks to every one of us, my friend. Speaks to your heart because he loves you. 33, the fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor goeth humility. And the fear of the Lord, that reverence of His instructions, and of His wisdom, His knowledge He gave us, those few little words that He had to speak to keep us from harm's way. That is His knowledge. This is the fear of the Lord. It's just to have respect for the Lord, to do these things He's asked us to do. And before the honor will go humility, and you'll have to humble yourself. Sometimes we have to humble ourselves. We were placed in that position. We always going to take the low side because we have that ability to work up. And that's how we work our way to honor. The cream always rises to the top, my friend. The cream always rises to the top. That's what you are, because you do what the Lord's asked you to do. Let's move forward to Proverbs 16. Turn and return.